I remember the thing that really annoyed me the most, as far as the, crypto negging was when Bill Maher did a segment on crypto, and his big grievance was basically he didn't understand it. And I remember just watching that. I'm like, so you just don't get how it works, so it just sucks for everyone then, because you don't get it,
Uh, it's it's one of those beautiful Mar moments that, thank God, this is when I do love the internet, is because and he's so snide, and rather than go, gee, I just don't know a lot about this, so I want to learn more. It's like there's a thing from like 15 years ago where he's like, these new smartphones, are they really smart? And he's just like, wow, you sound
Oh,
like a
did he?
dumb
Oh,
old, oh
nice.
God. He's the guy that literally, 20 years from now, he's going to be like the guy that was like the Wright brothers and their little flying bird thing. Really? Well, that, like these four guys from Liverpool. I mean, it sounds like cats dying. Like he's just going to be wrong, like
That
colossally wrong.
that guy has been around all through history, and they've always been annoying. That guy's always been the wheel. Come on, my feet don't look like a wheel.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they're not just some guy in a bar stool. They had big influences at the time. I mean, they're these huge. I mean, watch the movie Imagine, right? Where they're doing, and John Lennon has some huge journalist critic guy come in, and he's all like, you hippies, and he's this real notable guy. Do you remember his name?
No.
Of course not. No
Yeah.
one does. You
Yeah.
remember John Lennon's name. That's why. Like, I always say this all the time. Like, that's my favorite thing is to do that or go, tell me the name of the biggest jazz critic when Miles Davis and those guys were creating bebop, and people go, no. I go, neither do I. No one does. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like 20 years from now, Bill Maher is going to be some like, oh, wasn't he that old dude that was always wrong about everything? Or just like, he's just like, no one's going to remember him.
Isn't he the
We're all
guy
gonna
that
be
didn't want to pay
going,
his writers?
yeah, that's the guy who didn't want to pay his writers during the strike. Oh, that guy. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a great thing when people were, there's a website, I think it's called 99 Bitcoin Deaths. And it just plays articles throughout Bitcoin's history since its inception in 2009, when it's like Bitcoin, went to $1 and then collapsed to 30 cents, and Bitcoin goes to $100 and then collapsed to $50. And it just shows how every time there's a big price pullback, everyone's like, this is it for Bitcoin. It's a scam. And it's like, there's an article that was circulating that'll come out every once in a while from in the New York Times, an op-ed piece in the New York Times in the year 2000. So not 1950, in the year 2000, saying, the internet's a fad and probably isn't going to last.
I was thinking of that one. I was like, well, remember all those like internet's a fad thing that was never gonna, I mean, they thought when like the Palm Pre's came out, which led to eventually the iPhone, people thought that was going to be a fad. No one's going to want that. Who's going to buy that? And you see what happened, obviously.